It's time for Inside Hart County Football with Coach Rance Gillespie. Recorded in Studio 604B in the Hart College and Career Academy. Here's your host, Doc Ayers.
Good afternoon and welcome to Inside Hart County Football. I'm Doc Ayers, joined by Coach Rance Gillespie. Coach, what a Friday night.
It was a great night. It really was. Opportunity to get into the playoffs, number one, and that's always big. You gotta do well enough in region play to qualify. The week before we had to win by 9 to host. We ended up getting to host a playoff game, and really proud of our kids for that. And once you get in, everybody's pretty good, and that was certainly the case. A 2-3 matchup, an 8-2 football team, and a very physical, run-oriented football team, and they had been very successful with that in a region that has always been very competitive with, Calhoun and North Murray, especially the last couple of years. Very competitive, and an 8-2 football team, and able to play well enough to come away with the win.
I thought we played extremely well. We came, particularly coming out and taking control of the football game.
Yeah, we came out the first couple of drives and controlled the football game. Got a couple of stops defensively, and it was a little messy and a little cold and a little rain, and at different points in the night we got significant rain, and we had a turnover there, and it was a lot due to the weather, and kind of let them back in the game, and they've been a tough football team that's battled through some things like that all year long, and Friday night was no different. They battled through that and gave them an opportunity to get back in it, and they certainly did. And then we were able to pull away there at the end.
All right, let's look at the first half. They take the opening possession, and as you said, they are a very physical football team.
Yeah, we missed a tackle here. The ball gets out on us. First two plays are not two of our best ones for us defensively. Missed two tackles there, and ball gets away from us, and but then we are able to get a stop and played better there. They had not kicked a field goal or really attempted many extra points throughout the year. The team that went for two primarily, and so here we knew it was kind of a 4-down deal, and that was just kind of their brand of football.
And here comes the ground game. Another great night.
Yeah, we matched things up. Both backs ran the ball especially well, and we had to overcome a couple of things. Right here, this is a big play to Kane on a little, kind of our version of triple option, and get a holding call. And it's something that our wideouts are very physical out on the perimeter. They do a great job, and so many times you get that, and you get a call. But we like our wideouts playing physical, take pride in their blocks, and they do. Big third down conversion here.
Great effort by Malachi.
Good job getting the first down, and continue to move the chains.
Good job fitting the run there.
Their free safety was a really, really good player. And if you watch, 22 made a lot of plays for them all year long, and certainly did again Friday. He's a really good player. Good fits there, and Malachi takes it in for about the last 8 yards to give us the first score. But like I said, we had to overcome some adversity with a penalty there, and have a third down conversion, and
great cover kick here.
Just did a good job doing that. But yeah, Tucker placed the ball well on his kicks, and gave us a good opportunity to get the ball down on the 20 or inside, and I thought we did a good job with our kickoff team Friday night.
Good discipline.
good fits there, and and like I said, in their style, and like I referred to last week, most teams are kind of out of schedule at 2nd and 7, but with them willing to go for it on 4th down, 3 yards is kind of all they need. And a nice punt and
get it down on the 4.
Leaving the offense out there with a team that will go for it on 4th down and get the pin, and this is certainly a huge play for us. Get the ball out, and Malachi has gotten so much faster as he's getting older and stronger, and able to go the distance there.
Anytime you have running backs like they've had the years our two have had, speaks volumes for the job up front.
Yeah, no doubt, and those guys have really played well throughout the year, and it's a group that's just fun to be around, and has done a really good job all year long.
Well, it's 14-0. Go to the 2nd quarter.
Good play there out of Jai, good fit, and Jay Merritt. Those guys are, I think a lot of people forget those guys are just sophomores, so some of their best footballs in front of them. And this is what I was talking about, and you really can't tell on the film, but it's raining pretty good. We get a bad snap, put us in the kind of back behind the chains, and then get a ball that just slips out of our hand there. And we kind of set this one up for them, and they did a good job. They do a good job converting and putting the ball in the end zone here. And
12's a strong physical runner.
Now it's a 14 to 8 game. They end up going for 2 and convert, and so 14 to 8 is a lot different than what you would hope for 21 to 0. You make it 21 to 0. Hopefully, it's kind of a different game. Come out and get solid runs out of the 2 backs all night long, and able to control the football game. This is a good run out of JL, and it's matched pretty good up front as well. But he breaks the tackle and ends up going the distance there.
Like 21 to 8. That one got to the parking lot. Again, great
Did such a good job placing that kick. And we did a good job covering too. Just get the pin inside the 10, and your chances of going the length of the field are not near as good. And that's what we want to do is get the pin. Big tackles pulling around there, and just you got to give them a lot of credit. Our kids are playing hard, but they're doing a good job getting bodies on people, and can be kind of frustrating at times, and we let the ball out here.
Ball down point blank, and
good effort off the edge, and that's a down that's so important that we just want to show our resiliency and prove that we're going to continue to play hard there.
Good job.
Good return out of Paul there, and we had all of our speed guys on our kickoff return, and because they had placed the ball in a lot of different places, and good job getting a return there. Good physical run here, and picking up a big 1st down for us, and somehow he gets out of this and ends up getting it down to about the 2 or the 3, and then puts it in on the next play.
You like the excitement that they're showing, the jump up and down and celebrating.
Yeah, our kids are excited. Our kids are excited to play. Our kids are excited about the way that they're playing, and I think that's a really good thing.
Good job up front.
Did not do a good job fitting that, and got outside of it a little bit, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, their quarterback was the
State
leading rusher
in the state.
in AAA. Get the ball back, and this is a big drive for us. We knew we were going to get the ball back to start the second half, and we certainly wanted to make it, a 2-3 score game if we could. So we're kind of pressing the issue. We're not conservative in trying to get the ball down the field, and come off right. We had a timeout just prior to this, and come back and.
That's a beautiful throw.
It's a really, really nice throw and good catch on the other end, and got great protection. We had really good protection throughout the night.
$35-21 at the half. You got probably 300 yards total offense. Defense has played well in spurts. What's going through your mind when you walk off that field?
And we need to come out and score
that's
to open the second half.
Get the separation. I'm calling it a hidden point.
Right, and that's that's the biggest reason why we defer is to get that extra possession, and that's it worked out for us here. It worked out for us last week at Madison, and it's a big deal.
All right, we'll be right back. We'll look at the second half, and then we'll talk about round 2 playoffs. You're watching Inside Hart County Football.
Hart County High School is about academics, sports, and training. Bulldog chow, reading, teamwork, brilliant minds, preparing for the future. Hart County High School is the school made for us. And welcome back to Dog Talk. I'm Logan Bennett, and today I'm here with Caden Hart. So you guys have made it to the second round of the playoffs. Do you feel like it's any pressure on you guys being on the road?
No, I don't think it's any pressure on us. It's just a business trip. We're going down there. We're actually leaving tonight or after school at 4:30. We'll go down there and we're going to play football, play our brand of football.
With you being a senior and this is the second round of the playoffs, it could potentially be your last game. So going into it, like, how do you feel? What's the emotions like?
Well, going into it, of course, I don't think it's going to be my last game. But, yeah, I am a senior, and I love playing with my boys, and every one of those boys are my boys, and I love every bit of it.
So, like, from the beginning of the season to now, how do you feel like your team has grown together?
Oh, we have came together a lot. We have this thing called a leadership council, and I'm on the leadership council. It's some seniors, juniors, freshmen, and sophomores. So we get together, and we are the leaders of the team, and we push this team to get together as one. And I believe we are one right now.
So you've played all 4 years of your high school, right?
No, I'm just 3 years. My freshman year, I had surgery on my right elbow.
Okay, so what do you feel like your accomplishments was for your years playing?
Well, my senior year was beating Elbert this year. It's big beating Elbert my senior year. And then after practice one day, I snagged on Coach Ballrath in the end zone after practice.
Yeah. Okay, so Preston, you pick Preston up a lot. So what's that like? He's just something y'all do, or what is it?
Preston's my best friend. Preston's my boy. Just showing Preston some love from my guy. I couldn't thank him enough for what he does for me and our friendship.
You're also on the O-line. So what is like the key component for you guys going in on a Friday night?
Push the football down the field, run the football. We love to run the football. We take pride in Malachi Thomas having 1,600 rushing yards and JL having 1,200 rushing yards, 1,100 rushing yards. We take pride in that, and we're the key to this offense. We feel like if we don't run, this team don't run. In a car, like Coach Gentry says, in a car, there's a motor, and we're the motor. You don't see us working, but we're the one running this car.
So, well, that's all I have for you guys today, and we'll be back again on Dog Talk.
The Hart County College and Career Academy provides new and improved learning opportunities to students in our community. With new technology and equipment in every classroom, students have the resources to ensure a better education. We guarantee that the Hart County College and Career Academy will further prepare students for their future and their careers. Hart County College and Career Academy, preparing students for their future.
Welcome back. As we said going to the break, 35-21, got the drive right there, the pass from Luke to Malachi to go up, get that score at the buzzer. 2 weeks ago, Morgan County, we come out, take the same situation, get the score on the first drive. Right. How big is this first drive?
Well, it was big, and we talked about it with our kids at halftime, and now it was important for us to go out and have an opportunity to take control of the football game coming out of halftime.
All right, let's look at that opening drive for the second half. Haralson kicks off, and like you say,
there was a lot of trash kicks, a lot of pooch kicks, and a lot of sky kicks, and so we had to do a good job making sure that all of that grass back there was defended and covered, and we did a nice job with that. So they came out and put us in a 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, and we ended up having to convert here. We ended up having a couple of penalties here. So this is a really big drive for us, and we end up overcoming a couple of things that were kind of put us behind the sticks. Good play here out of Malachi on the tunnel screen. Get called for a holding call, and that brings it back, and come back and are able to hit him in the flats over there, and don't get the big game, but we get enough for first down. Yeah. JL does a good job there on the cutback, and with some of the things that we're doing on the zone, the backside of the runs are just as important, if not more so, than the front side. And I think we continue to get better and better with the backside of our zones. That is an unbelievable catch and really nice throw here. And 22, like I said, he could really move and did a great job getting back over there and just were able to sneak that thing in. And great diving catch out of Malachi, and then JL sticks it in for the touchdown.
Again, a nice height on the kick.
And got the bodies where we needed to be, and again. The frustrating thing is you could stop them for a gain of 2, and if you gave up 4 on the next one, then they're right back on schedule because of their ability to go for it on 4th down, and it's just it made it tough, and they did a good job. Big guys up front that move you, and you just had to play really well.
I think this is the only pass they threw the whole night.
Good job, and that's makes it hard too. You get a couple of guys and they get a little antsy, try to add an extra body to the run, and all of a sudden you get the ball thrown over your head. But a big stop here, and really gives us an opportunity to kind of put this thing away here in the 3rd quarter. We're kind of starting to take the air out of the ball a little bit and try to shorten the game with the lead that we had. We got called for a procedure penalty on that play, and so again, get behind the sticks and having to overcome some adversity, but nice play here. And it is another one of our perimeter screens, but it's blocked a little bit different, and Malachi does a good job putting it in the end zone for us.
Touchback on the kickoff, they get it on the 20.
Yeah, that's a big thing because they lose one more opportunity to hurt you with their return. Nice play there out of Corbin, and you don't see him as much, but there's some of the things that he's doing in there, being able to stop some of the movement that are a huge factor in the game.
Good effort there.
Yeah, good physical run out of JL, and fit really good up front. And it's really fun to watch him progress, and also this offensive line.
Extra point.
Again, we got bodies flying around, and Scooter's going to end up catching him. We probably should have had him for a 5-yard gain, and just a little late catching him there. And big stop on the
2-point play.
2-point play. Come out and attempt the onside kick. We had our hands team on the field and able to recover it. Now just got to get a first down, and then we can run the best play in football, which is victory.
And there it is. Do it twice and get the final of 56-27. Coach, playoffs, you know you're going to get a strong opponent. Tomorrow night we got one.
Absolutely.
Pierce County, they coming in 11-0, ranked number 2 in the state of Northern Georgia, one of the polls. Tell us about Pierce.
They've got a good football team, and I think the thing that jumps out at you about Pierce is when you watch them. Typically in AAA football, teams are deficient somewhere. And, they've got a guard that's not a very good player, or they've got an outside linebacker that's not a very good player, or they've got a corner that's not a very good player. And with Pierce, that's not the case. They have really good football players, across the board at every position, and they run a 3-4 defense, or an odd front on defense, and the 2 outside linebackers, who happen to be brothers, are really good football players and can move. They've got the 3 guys inside do a great job playing really good fundamental football with their hands and fitting things. The 2 linebackers, one of them is really special, and both of them are really solid, high school football players. And then you get to the back end, and they've got 4 guys back there that have some length and can move around. Offensively, the 2 tackles are huge. Both of them, or one of them, is well over 300 pounds, and the other one's got to be pushing 300 pounds. They don't have him listed at 300, but he's got to be close. And he's the one that's committed to Auburn. Okay. And then the center's probably 260-ish, and the 2 guards are not as big, but they're doing a lot of wing tee concepts with their offense, and you don't want huge bodies there. You want guys that are athletic and can run, and they certainly can. The quarterback is athletic, throws the ball well enough to beat you with his arm, but certainly his legs are a big-time weapon for them. And the running back's a really good player, and then they've got some wideouts with some speed. So, that's the reason they're ranked where they are. And last year I think they played in game 14, if I'm not mistaken.
They were in the semis last year.
And they got beat by Cedar Grove, I think. And so they've been there. I'm sure they've got a lot of kids back off of last year's team, and that have got experience of playing in these games. And just a solid football program from top to bottom.
Key to the ball game.
But it is the obvious. It is. You don't get in these games and win when you don't tackle well, when you don't cover people up on the offensive line, when you turn the ball over. And so it's like, all the old coaches say, the schemes can break down, but the fundamentals can't. And it comes down to good fundamental football.
Long road trip, but a great opportunity.
Yeah, we're gonna head down a little early, and we'll make sure that our kids are well rested and get ready to play. We're excited.
Sounds great. Look forward to the show next week. We'll be talking about Pierce and previewing a potential third round game. You're watching Inside Hart County Football. Thank you.